So when you do this, disconnecting your battery is going to reset your memory. So you're going to have to do your drive cycle and everything all over again. There are devices you can get that will hook to the battery and plug into your OBD2 port inside that will actually keep the memory saved so that you don't have to go through all of that. But that's up to you if you want to do that. I'm just, I'm already at the point where I need to do a drive cycle anyways, so it didn't really matter to me. Lots of ants here today, so I'm kind of having to dance around. But this part here is hugely important. You're probably not going to make things look better if you don't do this, because what you want to do is line the end of the fender there, and that's going to protect that corner from your screwdriver or a little pry bar. This is what I'm going to use, a little trim removal tool. If you're using a screwdriver, tape the end of it so that you don't mess up the bumper, but it's going to be a lot more forgiving than the fender. If you stick anything in there without tape in the fender, you're probably going to chip the paint. So just make sure it goes into the crack. You don't have to go way back in there. You're just trying to protect the corner of it. But same thing, both sides. And if you're having a hard time getting into the crack there, what you can do is remove the screw down here, and then that will allow you to pull this back. And there's actually a bolt up underneath here that connects the bumper. There it is. Connects the bumper up to the fender there. So if you loosen that up, then you'll be able to get the tape in there. And then you could just remove that one because you're going to need to anyways. Up on the top, we need to remove these guys. The bump, they're like a radiator protector, I guess it's called, but it's like a little pop-up clip. All you need to do is stick something down in there and pry it up. And once you get it pried up, I'm not having a very easy time here. One hand's kind of difficult, but once you get it pried up, then it'll separate this bottom piece. This bottom piece will stay in the hole, and this will slide in and out of it. But obviously this one's pretty broken, so if I can find some new ones somewhere, I'll try to do that, but they're probably not easy to find. So we'll take that out. And there's this clip here. I might replace that because the one I pulled out was pretty messed up. But this one's just a press in. And take this guy out again. And that one's a little better. So we'll leave that for a minute. So I'll pull those. And there are some clips on the bumper here. There are 3 clips here, about evenly spaced from the headlight to the wheel well. Yeah, make sure you pry those gently, because you don't want to damage the bumper either. And then there's another clip that is under about the middle of the headlight. And then obviously those clips on top. And as long as you took that bolt out that connects the bumper to the fender on the back there, then that's pretty much it. You're just gonna kind of wiggle it around and it'll pull off. So let me go ahead and get to that point and I'll be back. Okay, so I got this off here. Now the trick that worked for me was to stick the screwdriver, or pry bar in this case, in between the two. Make sure it's taped all the way up again, and just try to get it in there and pry it down or pull up, and it should push this back part down, which will disengage the little clip there. And there's 3 there, so there's actually 1 right there, and then the 2 more right next to the headlight. So they're not very evenly spaced. The headlights that I got, they do not have a bracket. There's a connection down here that actually connects. There is one of the same type of clip on the bumper there. You can right there you can see, but they have like a clip over here and a clip over here on the headlight. So but it doesn't really matter. It attaches securely. So we've got that side. I just pull these couple clips up here, and then we should be able to go ahead and pull the bumper off. So let me get the bumper at least almost pulled off, and I'll come right back. Okay, so the bumper's off. Once you get those couple clips off the top, the 3 up there, it pretty much comes off. You have to, this one here was the clip I had in the center. Apparently I chose too big a one because they didn't want to come out. But you want to make sure you get these clips on the bottom like this. Make sure they're disengaged from the bumper. I did not, so it was a little bit of a pain to pull it out. It was kind of hanging up, but you're basically gonna just wiggle it back and forth until you get the side to pop out. Switch over to the other side and do the same thing, and just be careful that you don't scratch up your headlights if you have something nice there, or your fender, of course. And go ahead and pull it out of there, set it aside. And this here is your energy absorber, I think they call it, but basically this is your 5-mile-an-hour bumper thing. This protects you in a very slow speed collision. So if you've been in a real minor fender bender, say on the front of the back, or you ran into the back of somebody, this might be damaged. It's just a piece of styrofoam that's real heavy density. So if it is, just buy another one. They're actually pretty cheap. Go ahead and put that in there while you're at it, because then you don't have to do this again. But next thing we're gonna do is there's 2 bolts on top of the headlight, one there and one there, and then there is one more right here, which is why we had to get the bumper off, is because that bolt was blocked. Also, it probably makes it a lot easier getting these out of here, because it's just a little tight with the bumper there. But in any case, that is ready to go, so we're going to go ahead and pull those. Or actually, I think I'll start over here. I'm just going to do one, and as I do it, I'll kind of pull this one and explain everything that I did as far as wiring it up. There's a couple different options you have, but the way that I wired it in was these guys right here. This is kind of a piggyback connector. The slot on one side goes all the way through. On the other side it does not. So you put your single wire into the side that does not go all the way through, and you slide the side over the wire that you want to connect into. And then once you get them on there, try to keep the wires in place, and then this part here folds over, and you're actually pressing this sleeve down. So use like a pair of channel locks or something and press that down, and it'll go down, and those grooves will actually end up with the wire inside of them, and that'll connect those 2 wires together. Use some silicone grease or something to make sure it's protected from water, and afterwards either shrink wrap or tape up, electrical tape up really good. The whole thing, try to make it to where no water could get in there, because water is going to be your enemy. Water gets in there, it can make you lose connection and your lights stop working, start working intermittently. But yeah, so those are pretty simple. So I'll show you what I did when I get inside here, so you can see there's a couple different configurations you can do as far as how you want to hook up the LEDs, if you happen to get these same exact ones. On this one, we have, you can see my bulb right there that got stuck inside, which is why I have to take this back apart. That's the daytime running lights on the very right there. Then these 3 are LEDs, and then you have LEDs that go around each of the headlights. The outside here is the lower beam, and the inside is the high beam. And then the way I wired it in is these 2 rings here are wired in with the parking light, the yellow marker on the side. So whenever that is on, which is going to be any time you have your headlights or even just your parking lights on, those are going to be on. They're not too bright, but it'll light up a little bit. And then the turn signal is right in here, and these 3 actually I wired into where they blink with the turn signal. So you could do all the LEDs to either the turn signal or the parking light, or you can even actually do the high beams individually and the low beams individually. So I mean, I imagine you could just tie them into work with the high beam or low beam, but I thought having the parking lights connected to it would be kind of cool, because then I could just have a little extra light when just the parking lights are on. But I'm going to go ahead and pull that off, and it's pretty warm, so I'm going to cool down for a minute, and then I'll go ahead and pull that off and show you guys my wiring and how you do it and where to connect. So this kit's pretty nice to have. This is like a trim removal kit, and it's where I got the little orange pry bar from. And this one's kind of cool. It's a little crowbar type one. You get this guy here, which you slide underneath, and then it pulls up. So all of that's pretty cool to have. There's other ways you can do it, but it's really handy, and they're not very expensive. Most of my tools I got off Amazon, and they're really much less expensive than you would expect. There's another pry bar there, and those are just the ones that I use most, the ones that are out. And then I also bought this set of clips. It's a big variety of different clips. That one I think was also something I bought on Amazon, and very cheap too. They're not the best clips, but they're a whole lot better than the old clips you'll be pulling out. And you got a wide variety, so just make sure you find the ones that fit the most snugly without being overly tight. So I got the one side out on this. It is a little bit difficult to get them out, particularly the stock ones. These ones aren't nearly as bad, but in this little clip down here, that little metal clip there, that plastic piece that goes into there on the stock one is really difficult to pull out of there. It's really strong. It holds on really strong. You could try to pry up on it, but I didn't have much luck with that. The best thing I could do was just to get everything else ready and then kind of give it a good jerk and pop it out of there. On the top here, these guys, as you can see over here, these are actually raised, so when it is attached, these guys will actually get caught on there if you don't lift it up over it. So you'll be fighting with it a lot if you don't lift those to get over it. And then that was really the only difficult part, was getting that clip there, and then just kind of wiggling it around until it came out. Now the way I'm going to get this bulb out of here is just kind of shake it around until it's down on this end, and then the turn signal connects here, and that's a big enough hole for it to come out of. I don't know if you'll get these particular headlights for your car, but these ones are Spider brand. They seem really nice. I like them, and they package them really well, so they're well protected. The way that I wired this in together, like I said, on the LEDs, I did that to the turn signal, which is this yellow bulb. So if I follow that back, basically what I did is I removed the tape and I pulled out the wires, and then these are those little clips. So here are the yellow wire. I tied in the white wire, tied in the white wire, and then the white and black I tied into the black wire. I know it's a little confusing because white seems like it would go with white, but your white in this case is your hot on the headlamp, and the white with black stripe is usually a ground. So basically those end up reversed. Make sure you hook them up the right way. You don't want to short anything out. So if you're not sure at all, even get a hold of the manufacturer of the light. Do some research and find out which one's which. But also on like this one over here where I tied in, which is well, let's go back to this for a second. So those two are tied in, and those ones, when you come back, they're actually two tied in together. It's a little tight here, but there's two wires that come together, and those are three wires. Sorry, three wires all joined together, three blacks, three whites, and those go to each of the three LEDs here. And where I tied in on the outer one here, this one, there's two sets of wires. One goes to the ring around the high beams over here. It's kind of down in there. And then there's another one over, it's back in there too. The two are back in there, the red and black wires, and those go to the LEDs around the headlamps. And then I tied those in to the parking light, which is this side yellow housing light over here. It's not actually a yellow bulb. I did actually put LEDs in that one, and that worked out fine. The hole's bigger on that, so it didn't get stuck. But if you trace this wire back, then right here, I just cut back the rubber sheath there, and then was able to splice into the two wires there. On this one, green is actually your positive. Generally, green is going to be a ground, but in this case, on the Scion, on this headlight line for the parking brake, the green is the hot, and the white with black is the negative, or the ground. And so you're basically going to tie in your reds, which is your hot, to the green, and then your blacks, which is your ground, to the white with black. And then tape those up real good. Obviously, like I said, put silicone grease in there. That's your dielectric grease, and that's going to protect it from moisture getting in there, corrosion, and helps. It actually helps keep a good contact on the electrical connector, because it keeps any corrosion out of there. So make sure you tape those up as best you can. Try to get it to where no water's going to get in there. I'm going to tape those up back up and get that bulb out of there, and then I'll come over and do this one. This one's the same way, so I'm not really going to show you. There wasn't anything too different about it. I did not figure out what to do with the wires. It's kind of a jumbled mess back here, but you know, maybe I'll just kind of tape them together, zip tie them together or something, but there's nothing really back there to hurt them, so it really wouldn't matter too much if you left them like that. My OCD, I guess, is kind of bothering me with that, like a mess like that. But I'll get that put back together, get those bulbs out of there, and that's pretty much what it is. And then you just put it back together the reverse of how we took it out, and there's not a whole lot to it. Make sure with the bumper, when you have it off, don't lay it on the face, because you don't want to scratch up the front of your bumper. The bottom there, you're going to be fine. You probably already got scratches all over the bottom anyway. Before you put the bumper back in, make sure you remove this tape, or at least before you put the screws back in and tighten them, because otherwise you're going to have some of the tape stuck between the cracks there, and you won't be able to get it all out. So hope that helps. Okay, something I forgot to mention, I did replace the several bulbs here. These ones actually came with a high beam bulb already in them. It's a different type of bulb, but on these stock headlights you have your low beams here, your high beams here, and if you rotate them, I believe this one rotates counterclockwise and this one rotates clockwise to get them off, but you'll have to just try it one way and try it the other if it doesn't go. That's over here. This is going to be your parking light, and then down here on the bottom, the one that I got it stuck in right there, that one is your daytime running light. that one down at the very bottom there. And then you have your turn signal over here. And on these ones, you know, the tie-in of the LEDs, but basically those 5 volts, the high beam, the low beam, the parking light, the daytime running light down on the bottom, and then the turn signal on the inside. So hopefully this is easy for you. Good luck. So I got it taped back up. As you can see, it's not super pretty, but you can't see any of the inside. It's covered all the way up, so water's not going to get in there unless maybe a little bit runs down the end of these wires. Ideally, you know, if you can shrink wrap it, that's better, but the tape will work. When you do these connections, be 100% sure that you get those connections on there good. If you have to, redo it. Tear the connector apart, don't cut the wire that you're splicing into, but you know, tear back the connector and redo it if you're not sure. Before you excuse me, before you put it or tape it back up, pull on the wire just a little bit, and pull the connector, make sure it won't slide on the wire you're splicing into, so that you know it's got a good solid connection. Because if you did not get those in there solid, you will be taking everything back apart, because you will have some lights not working and some working, which is a real bummer. So everything that I did there was working. The only thing that I had issues with was some bad bulbs, but all my new stuff, my LEDs, are all working. So that means I spliced those in well, and hopefully you will too. Just make sure you take your time and make sure those wires are in place when you push them down, and push them down hard. You won't hurt it. And on the tape, and on your taping, make sure you use lots of tape. You're not going to hurt anything by over taping, so just make sure that it's real well sealed. So I'm going to go ahead and put everything back together. I think that's pretty much about it, and get this looking nice again. Okay, so one more really important tip, and then that should be it for this project. On these connectors for the lights, all of these connectors had a little bit of corrosion in them, and they were real dry. So I put some of that silicone grease inside of the connectors. You can use dielectric grease, but yeah, basically it's just going to keep the water out and prevent that corrosion from spreading anymore. But yeah, corrosion in there will cause your lights to cut out too. So grease up all those connections, and you won't be sorry. Also, when you're putting the bumper back on, make sure you get the supports here underneath the whatever they're called, the plastic pieces underneath there. Just make sure you get the supports for the bumper underneath that, otherwise you're gonna probably have to pull it back off. But yeah, it's basically on there. I just got it in place. It's not actually clipped in yet, but I got the supports under the plastic pieces, and the aprons, I think they're called. But I got this ready to go. It's lined up right there, so now I'm going to go ahead and pull the tape off so that I don't end up with that stuck in there. And you might have a little bit of adhesive on there, just some alcohol or something, you can get that off. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just about a wrap. I'm just got to tighten everything up here and underneath and the wheel wells, and that'll be it. Another successful mission.